Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another video from TW White & Sons Mazda. Okay, here we have today a car we took in part exchange this morning. It's a Mazda CX-3. It's the Sport Nav model, presented in Soul Red Crystal. This is a very lovely car. It's covered under 6,000 miles. I'll get you the exact mileage when we get in the vehicle. Now, this video might be done at a faster pace than usual because I think it's about to rain, so I do apologise if I rush through this. Now, hopefully you can see from the outside of the car it's in absolutely beautiful condition. We did supply the car brand new to a very nice gentleman. He's renewed his PCP agreement, got another car, picked that up this morning, and we have this in part exchange. Now, if I was to be critical of the car, there's one alloy there that's slightly grazed, which we will have mended, another one here and another one there. So it's 3 alloy wheels, slight grazes. You get them on all the cars. It's very difficult to have a car and not graze an alloy, so that will be done. The car will also be serviced, MOT'd for the next owner. As I say, I do want to emphasise we know the car, we sold it new. It's always nice when you know the car. Oh, I do apologise, the boot needs a bit of a hoover. But you've got this boot here, you've got a cavity floor here, and you've got a BOSE speaker there, being the Sport Nav model. Okay, so it's not the biggest boot in the world, but if you take this out here, it does get a little bit bigger. Sorry, it's a bit windy today as well. Let's take that out. So it's, you know, it's not the biggest boot, but it's practical enough. I think I always use the gauge of whether you could get a pram in there. I think you could. You could certainly get my son's pram in there. But I don't think my dog as well. So yeah, good sized boot. It's a 5-seater car. I don't think, now the gentleman's sort of a retired gentleman, I don't think he's probably had people in the back, and you can kind of see that. There's no scuffed back seats. The seat belts are all in the seat belt slots, generally meaning, I don't know, they're not used. All the door cards are in great shape. It's a really lovely car. Oh, apologies, I've got my raincoat here just in case, but look, if I show you the passenger seat, there's absolutely no wear at all. And the driver's seat as well. Okay, let me take that out. Now, this is being the Sport Nav. You've got the BOSE stereo, so you've got a premium stereo. You've got a reverse camera as well as reverse sensors. You've got keyless entry, so you don't have to get the key out. Let me just show you in the back here again. Condition of this car, it's just superb. Very lovely. My valeter is very happy. It won't take him much to get this car up to a good standard. Okay, right, let's get in the car. Oh, it's very windy here. Now, this is like there was a few facelifts with CX-3. This has got the automatic folding wing mirrors, so that's one of the differences. And also, there's an upgraded steering wheel. This is all just a bit nicer. Okay, there was another upgrade after this that got a electric handbrake, so this isn't that one, but this is a 2018 car. I need to refresh my memory because obviously we were selling these cars from new. What have I done with the keys? We got both keys, by the way, for the car. Okay, one looks unused, so I'd assume that's the spare. So once you're in the car, foot on the brake, that lights up green. Press the button, fires into life. Up goes the heads-up display, and bingo. Right, now you can probably see the speed there. It's flickering on my camera, but it's not flickering in real life. So that was one of the other upgrades. You got a colour heads-up display. Well, the other one was a bit like green, reminded me of like a Spectrum, the old Spectrum video games. You got climate control, air conditioning, heated seats, heated steering wheel. I think that was one of the options as well. You've got the black surround MZD Connect system. That was, I think, one of the other revisions. I also think one of the other revisions from the earlier cars were the glass is ever so slightly thicker, so the actual cabin noise has been reduced. Okay, and I like that because it's nice to be in a quiet car. Right, so you've got automatic lights, automatic wipers, cruise control, info is like your trip computer. Now, this car's done 5,026 miles, so that's fantastic, really. Now, this gentleman, he doesn't do many long runs, and look, he averaged 17 miles per hour, and he got 36.7 mpg, so that's excellent. That's just going around the town, around the houses, you know, at a very slow speed, stop, start, stop, start. So on a long run, this car will get well into its 40s, and that's from a 2-litre naturally aspirated engine, so no complicated turbos, etc., to go wrong and cause reliability issues. You've got a 6-speed automatic gearbox, and a lot of people ask this, so I'm offering up the information. It's a I say proper automatic gearbox. It's an automatic gearbox, a proper automatic gearbox in the traditional sense. It's got 6 gears. You can drive it manually should you wish to do so, but it's not one of those gearboxes that lurch and roll back on hills. It's a smooth, seamless gear change with a torque converter. I know a lot of manufacturers have employed these semi-automatic gearboxes, which Mazda have done in the past, but we never really did very well with them, and they weren't very nice to drive. So yeah, a good automatic gearbox. On this panel here, you've got your traction control, you've got lane departure warning, you've got an intelligent engine stop start, so it will turn off in traffic, and you've got a tyre pressure monitoring system. So let's go through this with you. So this is Mazda's MZD Connect sat nav system. It's also your sat nav, your phone, your radio, and your settings. Okay, now this is touchscreen. However, I don't like using it as a touchscreen because you get fingerprints on it and it just looks a bit grubby. So this is the Multimedia Commander. I also call this the human interface, and it's got all these sort of quick keys on and this dial. So let me run you through this. So I'll go to the home screen. You've got applications. So there are things like the fuel economy monitor, which we just went through. Vehicle status, so if the car was out of fuel, needed a service, it would come up. This also illustrates how the engine iStop works. So iStop will work when the car is at the correct temperature, correct engine temperature, battery is fully charged, etc. At the moment it says it's not ready, and that's probably because we've only just gone down the road in it. The engine's probably not up to operating temperature, but when that goes to ready status, when you're in traffic, you're in gear, you've got your foot on the brake, I believe also you have to have your seatbelt on, the engine will stop itself. Okay, and then as soon as you lift your foot off the brake, it'll restart and off you go. Now to the more interesting stuff. Oh, back to the home screen. So you've got applications, then you've got entertainment. Go to the source list. So you've got FM, AM, DAB, Bluetooth. Okay, if I go to DAB, because I think DAB is the way forward. I know that they're discontinuing FM on Absolute Radio, I think I heard the other day. So if you haven't got a DAB radio, it's really great to have one. You're kind of future-proofing. I'm just updating the list to give you an example of what sort of channels you get, but I'll come back to that whilst that's updating. So when you've paired up your phone as well, you can listen to music through your phone via the Bluetooth. You can also use the USBs. There's 2 USBs there which will charge and read data. Okay, so if you've got Spotify on your phone, or you just want to use YouTube, or you've got downloaded music on your phone, you can use it that way. Also, I want to mention this system can be upgraded to have the application CarPlay, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. So if you've got an Apple or an Android phone, it will then project its screen there, mirror the screen there. It's about £350. To me, I think it's fantastic because I've got it. I used a car yesterday that had it, and I used Google Maps, and you can Google things as you're driving along using the voice control. I was looking for a model shop yesterday on my way back from the Bewley Museum. I was inspired by their radio control cars, and came up, address, telephone number, and I got the directions to go there. So you can have that really handy. So you can have that on this car. So that's your entertainment. Now, communication, once you pair up the phone, you only have to do it once. You'll get your contact diary, call lists, receive calls, and if you've got an Android phone, it will read your text messages as well. Navigation, you can find an address using the town or postcode, dead easy. When you're on your route, if you need to find something nearby, you can do. You can search categories like fuel station, so it'll tell you all the fuel stations around here. You can also set up a Wi-Fi hotspot on your phone to communicate with this, and then when you search for things like petrol stations, the prices will come up, and it will also give you live traffic updates. And don't worry, it doesn't gobble up your data. It uses a minuscule amount of data. That's probably something I'd do if I was on a long journey. So sat nav, and then your settings here. You've got AD display, which is that. You can adjust the height from here. Okay. All right. I don't know if you can see that moving. Okay. Display, you can turn it off, etc. Safety, you've got smart city brake support, so there are cameras up here. If you got too close to the car in front and you weren't turning or braking or accelerating and you're doing under 20 miles an hour, the car thinks you've been distracted and it will put the brakes on. It's a marvellous system, and should you not need it, it will benefit you because it will lower your insurance, because it gives the car a lower insurance grouping, because most accidents happen at very low speed in those situations. You've got lane departure warning, okay? So if you were to veer out of a lane without indicating, the car will detect that and warn you by a rumble or a bleep, or by both, however you want to select it. You can put a speed limit warning, so it'll bleep when you hit a certain speed, and you can turn your parking sensors off. Okay. Sound, you've got the BOSE premium sound system, and you can adjust your adjust it there, bass, treble, etc. Clock, it's GPS synced. I'm just going to change this to 24-hour because I don't know, I get irritated when it's not. Oh, sorry, let me go back to that. And what else do we have here? Clock and vehicle settings. Now, I mentioned earlier it's got keyless entry. You can actually activate a walk away lock, which I've just done. So when you walk away with the keys on your person, I think when you're about a metre away from the car will bleep, lock, bleep, something in that order, I think. And the car will lock itself. Really handy. You know, you'll never forget to lock your car. And it will only lock if you've got the keys on you. It won't lock if you've left the keys in the car. And devices, Bluetooth, etc. Oh, back to vehicle. On lighting, there's some nice settings where you can set coming home lights, leaving home lights, give you enough time to get to the car, get to your front door. It's got adaptive lighting as well, so when you're going down the country lanes, it's fantastic. Can't tell you how good that is. And there you are. Okay, so I don't want to go on and bore you because it's now 13-14 minutes into the video. We are part exchange is extremely welcome. If you don't have a Mazda, still try us. We give good money for non-Mazda Suzuki cars. If you look on our website, you'll see we sell a lot of used cars that come in part exchange. The car will come with a year's Mazda ZZ Plus extended warranty with roadside assistance and MOT insurance for the first year. We have finance facilities to suit all, and these work out really good on a PCP, even on a used car. And please do inquire at any time of day, because we appreciate the fact that most people will be looking outside normal business hours. Therefore, we shall try to respond out of business hours. So yes, just want to thank you for watching our video, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Bye-bye.